Now we've looked at those important dramatic techniques, we're going to look at some really important things to consider when you're studying plays. So this is a checklist, things that you should always keep in mind and things that you really need to consider in order to have that deeper understanding of a play and how it works. So the first thing on the checklist is the title of the play. Don't just dismiss this, the title's really important. A play's name can be symbolic, so it could give you a hint as to the future. It can also be the key to an allegory or comparison you're supposed to make. It could also help you to crack the metaphor at the heart of the play. So generally the title is going to give you an indication of the major concerns of the play, whether it's by stating the major character, so showing you that this whole play revolves around that character, or if it's something to do with a more metaphorical title that might actually suggest something deeper which you might not understand through reading the play. Secondly, you need to consider the structure of the play. Now we've talked about this, but you need to think about these questions. Is it a 1, 2, or 3-act play? Why has the playwright structured the play in this manner? And how does this structure help you to understand the plot and characters? So draw on that analysis that we've done of the structure and look at applying this to the way that the characters interact with each other. Thirdly, you need to examine the characters and what they represent. So characters are often symbols of types of characters more widely. So types might include the protagonist and the antagonist. So basically that means the person who's the positive hero and the person who's the villain, a foil character or a love interest. These are examples of the sort of very typical characters you'll be seeing in plays. You must consider their role and function in the play. So do some analysis. You also need to think about the opinions or attitudes they represent. So what do they symbolize? What sort of values do they stand for? Fourthly, you need to be considering the themes that are explored by a play. So short plays will often only explore 1 or 2 themes, just due to lack of space. These can be intertwined, however, in complex, interesting ways. So look at the dialogue, but also look at stage directions, costuming, props, things like that which might suggest the really key concerns at the heart of the play. The themes are about often the human condition, so what it means to be human and how the characters represent the struggle that humans undertake. Fifthly, you need to look at the techniques and style that's used. So this is where you're taking that broad understanding and really getting very specific. Is the play realistic and abstract? Are there soliloquies, so the specific techniques that we've looked at? Do the characters seem aware of the audience? And finally, is the information fragmented or is it structured? Or is it presented through documentary style or perhaps with music? These are all things that you can consider in your understanding of the play as a structure. So that brings us to the end of part 2 of our 2-part video on the language of the dramatic. By taking an understanding of the structure, the elements, and the techniques of a play, you're really well on your way to be able to understand and deconstruct the plays that you'll have to study in your English. So if you draw on these techniques and draw on our discussion, even if this technique is unfamiliar to you, and even if this text type isn't what you're used to, you'll soon be able to understand it just as you would any other text type.